Hi, today I'd like to talk to you about Lightroom's guided transform tools. This tool is especially useful in architectural photography and specifically for correcting perspective issues introduced by the relative angle of your camera sensor to the building. Basically, if you're holding your camera and shooting up at an angle, you're going to get a keystone effect, and that's what we're seeing right here. This tool works especially well for correcting wide-angle lens distortion. However, it's important to note that your guide placement is very important. For this particular image here, I was using wide-angle lens. It was 24 millimeters on a full-frame camera. I was about a story off the ground shooting from a little bridge, and I had my camera angled slightly up to ensure that I'd have lots of blue sky here above this tallest building. Before jumping into transformation, it's important to know that when you have a significant barrel distortion, as I do right here, it's very useful oftentimes to go to the lens correction tool and enable profile correction first. This is going to get you a little bit closer, and if you're a little closer before you use this tool, you're going to have a better result. To use the guided transform tool, navigate to the transform palette, which is right below the lens correction, and you'll notice that you have 6 different options here, these buttons, including off. 4 of these are automated, and you can see that they give you a slightly different effect. And then guided. The reason I like guided is it allows photographers to indicate areas of importance to Lightroom, which ensures the best possible edit. You'll also note we have additional controls here below, and my recommendation here is to start with a guided transform tool and then tweak with these sliders as necessary. Guided transform works by selecting 2 to 4 planes within an image that should have straight vertical and horizontal lines. Once the second line is drawn, the image will start updating in real time. If you decide that you don't like the placement of a line, just hold your cursor over the line and get the hand and either select delete, or you can move over one of these control points and you can modify it as needed. You can bring it right into where it ought to have been. You want to avoid anything that is completely different plane, even if it's just because of the barrel distortion, and you see what happens with that. So we're going to go ahead and undo. But if we start and maybe do this building here, you can see that the corner of this line of this building here is a little skewed. If we click on that, it makes a pretty good edit. We can probably even risk having this roof line, and you can see that makes a really nice edit. And even though we tried to make this roof straight when we made a control line over there, a guideline over there, you can see that by correcting this midpoint building, we actually get a pretty nice effect overall. Very quick, very easy to use, and I think once you start using the guided transform tool, you will find that you're not using any of these automated features any longer. Let me know if you have any questions.